Well, Frank, back again. I'm back on the air, and I'm here with another hello. Yo. The music doesn't go very well loud. Yeah. Let's go a bit louder. I think what I do is I give myself a clap. That's it. The music doesn't really last long, and the claps doesn't last long. But today I'm just going to do something. Actually, today I'm coming up with. I'm going to show you a picture of this epitome college. I think it's a bit big, so I got like to. Now this college is right in front of me, and basically, the reason why I moved in is because I moved in next to this college. Why? Because I thought it was close to my heart. And because they do sound, they do engineering, sound engineering. They actually started off as sound, audio, and engineering, SAE, and then later they changed the name to Epitome. But what makes me very angry about this, disappointed actually more disappointed, because every time when I asked them. Something about college. You mean to say epitome? And I said, look, your college name, it should not be pronounced as epitome, because the correct pronunciation is epitome. And then, oh, is it? Because they know I'm a connoisseur of the language, so they say, how do you pronounce it? And I'll say, listen to me, it's epitome. At the end of the day, it comes back to epitome. Then it's epitome. I think they are saying that I'm spitting out the word like epitome. But the thing is that I kept on like insisting that they should pronounce it, and Malaysians, they don't really care. Epitome. I said the word epitome is basically an embodiment. I got to use the right word. Embodiment of excellence. The word epitome actually. What it means is that I'm trying to work out a meaning. It's more of an adjective. I don't know, but it's a personification of excellence. It's a paradigm of excellence in education or whatever. It's an hypothesis. It's an archetypical name. I can't. I just think of the name as one of those names that exemplifies a quintessence of education and things like that. So I said, you should be proud of this name. You should be proud of this name. And every time when anybody asks what's the name of your school, you should say proudly, it is Epitome, and it is an epitome of excellence in education. But sadly to say, they don't want to follow my style. I'm one of those few people who are connoisseurs of the English language and would rather stick to the English that is spoken by the Queen of England. The Queen. Actually, the Queen does speak. I mean, she was the first to really push forward for this RP meaning received pronunciation. Believe me, England was not the connoisseur of the language too. It was not. They never spoke good English. They never spoke. I'm going to rephrase this. They never spoke Queen's English, because it was the Queen Elizabeth, who, by the way, is related to me. You can check my you can check my other downloads, but very distant. I think in terms of being in line to the throne, I think I'm about like 1,385. No, I'm going off a different tangent. It's actually a joke. But here, again, I'm very serious with. I brought this matter up with the principals of the school to tell them that they should teach their lecturers to pronounce the name of the college correctly. That's how it is pronounced in Queen's English, or rather Daniel Jones English. Actually, there's a lot of words that are pronounced wrongly here in Malaysia, and and there's nothing I can do about it because it's not their language. It's not a language that they would push for or cherish or rather insist on it being used as a medium of instruction and communication. Another word let me think of this word. I've heard this before. Yeah, let me see. The word commonly means, it sounds like this because of this epitome, and that was mispronounced from epitome. There's another word, anemone. That's right, anemone. This anemone is kind of a flower. I'm pronouncing it wrong, I'm pronouncing it. It's a small flower, and it's always pronounced as anemone, whereas the real spelling, the real pronunciation is anemone. The real pronunciation is anemone, but it's often pronounced as anemone because what they see is Annie, a lady called Annie, and they see a moan there. And there's even another word that's very related to what I'm doing here. It's a word that is related to the phonetics dictionary, and this word, let me get this word across. Anemone. That's how it's. If you see that, if you really look at it, anemone, the stress should be on anemone, and the O also is a weak syllable sound. Anemone, and stress should be on nem and not anemone, because the mystics understood. Every time they see an anemone, even this word, this word is mispronounced all the time because it is a phonetic unit of sound. It's a song. It's a word called a phoneme. Okay, if you take pho and ph is actually replaced with an f. The o, take it to a neutral sound, a showa sound, if we call it. Whatever they got the name for it. Actually, the O is taken into a weaker sound. Basically, it's an inverted E. If you take an inverted E, how? Let me draw it out. Okay, it's inverted E, something like that. Wait. Yeah. That's how Daniel Jones would write it. It's a weaker sound, inverted E, and it's pronounced as a phoneme. But if you really look at the word, why is it mispronounced as phone me? You can see the word phone here, phone, phone me, phone me. So they pronounce it as most people pronounce it as phone me instead of phoneme. Can you see that? Can you see why they pronounce it as phone? Okay, I'll spell it again. Phon. I'll try to show you why it sounds like. I just do a split here. Wait. No. That's Phone. And there's an ME here. Okay, there. If you look at that, you see the word phone me, but actually the real pronunciation is phoneme, a unit of pronunciation. And basically it's that. I've got to go on a. Oh, that's right, man. I got to go on a Zoom meeting in a short while. Anyway, I just run through this program, okay? I'm going to end this with a riddle. Can you name me 2 days of the week that begin with the letter T? Of course, 2 days of the week that begin with the letter T. Hold on. With the letter T, of course, you would say Tuesday and Thursday, but somebody actually answered today and tomorrow. today and tomorrow. That's a strange answer, but he's not far from right. He's correct. And then there was. I did mention the difficulty in teaching the stress syllables. Okay, I've come to devise new methods in teaching now. I've devised new methods. Okay, for example, the word hospital. I couldn't get them to pronounce the word hospital. My students, every time they'll say hospital, because Malay. One thing about that there is this Bahasa Malaysia where most 90% of the English words are just pronounced exactly how it is pronounced in English. It's pronounced in Malay. So in Malay, hospital, the stress is on the hospital. They would pronounce it hospital. So same spelling but different pronunciation. So for me to get them to pronounce the word hospital correctly, I got to do a bit of tricks. I got to play cheat a bit. I would spell it as this. I would ask them if you had a horse and your horse is sick, where would you take your horse to? They say vet. I say no. You take your horse to a hospital. So you see the word horse there, and kind of it works every time when somebody says, "Where do you take your horse to?" Hospital. So they would stress on that word hospital. So and then after that I devised a few other things. Is like you take for example this word doggone. Doggone is actually a swear word to express feelings of irritation and anger and disdain or whatever. So the word doggone. I think the stress here now is on doggone. Okay, doggone. It's a word that's also quite normally used when somebody says, "What happened now? Doggone it." So I would the way I would get them to pronounce the word correctly I will ask them. Just imagine a Red Indian boy. His dog ran away. So when you ask him what happened to your dog, if you ask him what happened, Red Indians, they just speak 2 words and 3 words. You would say doggone, and he would also call the dog's mother dogma. But dogma has got another meaning. It means tenet or a principle or a precept or whatever. But dogma, the mother of a dog. So actually that's that's a joke. You got to laugh. Anyway, I really got to go. I really got to go because they're calling me, and I got to go on a Zoom meeting, and I got to go on so many things. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to sign off for the time being, and please look at my prescribe button down. Just not prescribe. Sorry, subscribe button. You press the button. It's red. It turns into gray color. Sorry, today I'm a bit agitated because a lot of things to do. I promised myself I will do 1 download a day, but I just can't seem to do it anymore. So just bear with me for a while. I'll try to get more downloads as soon as possible. Bye. This is Frank Jalleh wishing you. Let me do some. Yes, Frank Jalleh wishing you. I've got to do some dancing or whatever, finger dancing. Yeah, finger dancing is easier because it's more my head than my fingers. So that's it. I'm signing off. Bye.